Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we uncover the secrets hidden in plain sight within company filings. And sometimes the secrets are more like old secrets trying to make a comeback. This report from Foxx Development Holdings Incorporated might seem a bit dry at first glance, but trust me, there are some juicy details in here about who is running the show, who is being compensated, and crucially, what they might be trying to pull with a potential amendment to their foundational documents. Let us dive in and see what we can decode from this proxy statement. Alright, first things first, this is a proxy statement for their 2025 annual meeting of stockholders, a meeting that happened on the 22nd of December 2025, and it is basically how the company communicates important information and seeks shareholder votes on key decisions. So what are the big items on the agenda? Well, they are looking to elect 5 directors to serve until the next annual meeting, which is pretty standard, but they also want to approve and ratify the appointment of CB's CPAs PC as their independent public accounting firm for the upcoming fiscal year. And then there is a really interesting one, an amendment to the company's amended restated certificate of incorporation. This sounds technical, but it is basically like changing the company's constitution. And then of course any other business properly brought before the meeting. Now let us talk about how you can vote. You can do it online by visiting www.proxyvote.com. or by phone, or even by mailing in your proxy card. Think of this as your chance to have a say in how the company is run, even if you cannot attend the meeting in person. They started sending out these materials around the 1st of December 2025 to shareholders of record, as of the 28th of November 2025. This is important because it sets the cutoff for who gets to vote. For a meeting to be official, they need at least half of the outstanding shares to be represented either in person or by proxy. This means if not enough people vote or show up, the meeting might have to be postponed. This is why your vote is so crucial, especially if you want to ensure decisions are made with broader shareholder input. This is where things get interesting for electing directors. The nominee who gets the most votes wins. And get this, they allow cumulative voting. This means if you own shares, you can put all your votes towards one candidate if you want, or spread them out. It is like casting multiple votes for your favorite director. However, for approving the accounting firm and the charter amendment, a majority vote is needed, which is a standard requirement. Now let us meet the people who want to steer the ship. We have some familiar faces, and a new one, Miss Yi-Ching Miao, who initially was a director, has decided to step down, and Michelle Ji Shen is being nominated to take her place. We have Joy Yi-Hua described as chairwoman and chief financial officer with a very impressive background in investment management and real estate. Then there is Haitao Kui, executive vice president, who also has a strong sales and management background. Michelle J. Shen is nominated to replace Yi. Yi-Ching Miao bringing over 2 decades of financial management experience from companies like Philips and SPX Corporation. Finally, we round out the list with Edmund R. Miller, an independent director with extensive experience in private equity and the TMT sector, and John Chang, another independent director who has served as California State Treasurer and State Controller. This is a pretty experienced group in terms of finance and governance. This section tells us who actually owns the company and how much. Looking at the numbers, it seems Joy Yi-Hua through Acri Capital sponsor LLC holds a significant chunk of shares, around 31.6%. Then we have BR Investment Corp with 30.3%, New Bay Capital Limited with 10.2%, and BR Technologies Pte. Limited with 9.6%. It is interesting to see that among the directors and executive officers as a group, they collectively own 31.6%. This means a good portion of ownership is aligned with management, which can be a good or a bad thing depending on how you look at it. The company emphasizes that it maintains a board with a majority of independent directors. This is a crucial aspect of good corporate governance, meaning these directors are not employees and do not have financial ties that could compromise their judgment. They have an audit committee, compensation committee, and nominating and governance committee, all composed of these independent directors. The audit committee is responsible for overseeing the company's independent auditors, its financial reporting, and internal controls. This particular committee is really important for ensuring the accuracy of financial statements, and they have determined that Miss Miao and Miss Shen are financial experts, which is a big deal for investor confidence. This committee is tasked with setting executive pay and recommending director compensation. They have a say in how much the top brass gets paid, which is always a point of interest for shareholders. This committee is all about board composition and ensuring good governance practices. They are the ones who identify and recommend new directors to the board. Now for the part many of you are probably most interested in, how much are the top executives being paid for the fiscal year 2025. Greg Foley, the CEO, earned a salary of $275,000, while Haitao Kui, the executive vice president and CEO of the operating subsidiary, took home $300,000. Joy Yi-Hua, the CH. Airwoman and CFO received $290,000, and James Liao, the CTO, earned $180,000. These are their base salaries, of course, and do not include any bonuses or equity awards, which are detailed separately. They also have an equity incentive plan where they can grant shares or options to employees and executives. This is a way to align their interests with shareholders, and incentivize performance. The 2024 equity incentive plan has a total of 1,454,019 shares of common stock authorized for issuance. For the non-employee directors, as of 2025, Edmund Arth, Miller and John Chang each received about $75,000 in compensation, with John Chang also receiving around $58,000 Ever Yi-ching. Miao also received compensation before stepping down. Eva Yi-ching Miao and Edmund R. Miller were appointed in September 2024, and John Chi Ang in November 2024. They are asking to ratify the appointment of CB's CPAs PC as their independent public accounting firm for the fiscal year ending the 30th of June 2026. They have been working with CB's or its predecessor since July 2023. The audit fees for the year ending the 30th of June 2025 were $125,652, and for 2024 they were $545,320. This slight decrease in audit fees from 2024 to 2025 might just reflect scope adjustments or efficiency gains. The audit committee has reviewed the financial statements and discussed them with management and the independent auditors. They have confirmed their independence and recommended that the audited financial statements be included in the company's 2025 annual report. This committee plays a vital role in ensuring financial transparency and integrity. This is perhaps the most significant proposal. This is about amending Article X of their Certificate of Incorporation, which deals with the corporate opportunity doctrine. This doctrine basically says that directors and officers cannot take business opportunities that belong to the company for themselves. The original Article X was very broad and seemed to waive this doctrine significantly. Now here is the story behind this amendment. On the 22nd of November, 2024, a class action lawsuit was filed Semensato v. Foxx Development Holdings Incorporated et al. Alleging that the broad waiver of corporate opportunity was impermissible under Delaware law. To avoid the cost and distraction of litigation, the board decided to amend Article X. The proposed amendment tightens things up. It limits the waiver to only non-employee directors, and it defines excluded opportunities more narrowly. This means they are essentially saying that if a business opportunity relates to consumer electronics, mobile networks, communications, or connectivity technology, and it is presented to a non-employee director unless it comes to them specifically because they are a director of this company, then it is an excluded opportunity. This is a significant change from the previous broad waiver intended to protect the company better. And for those who want to dig even deeper, the company's 2025 annual report is available on their website. And the SEC's website, you can find all their financial statements, risk factors, and other disclosures there. If you are a shareholder and have a proposal you want to bring up for the next annual meeting, you need to submit it by the 3rd of August 2026 to be included in their proxy materials. This is a standard process for shareholders to voice concerns or suggest changes. Now, looking at all of this, what is my take on Foxx Development Holdings Incorporated, the executive and director comp? Accession seems to be in line with industry standards for a company of its size, especially given the equity awards, which can be a strong motivator for performance. However, the fact that several key executives, including the CFO Joy Yihua, collectively hold over 31% of the company's shares, while also being deeply involved in management, is a double-edged sword. On one hand, it shows strong alignment with shareholders. On the other, it potentially concentrates power. The amendment to the Certificate of Incorporation regarding corporate opportunities is a very positive step towards better corporate governance. The previous broad waiver was a significant risk, especially in Delaware, where shareholder rights are closely watched. By narrowing this scope, they are demonstrating a commitment to protecting the company from potential self-dealing by its directors. This is likely a direct response to the class action lawsuit that was filed and its resolution through this amendment. And a modest settlement payment shows a pragmatic approach to managing legal risks financially. The numbers we saw for audit fees show a slight decrease year over year, which could indicate increased efficiency or perhaps a slight reduction in the scope of audits compared to the previous year without the full financial statements. It is hard to say definitively, but it is a detail worth noting. Overall, Foxx Development Holdings seems to be taking steps to strengthen its governance and address potential shareholder concerns. The election of experienced directors and the clarification of corporate opportunity rules are good sign. For long-term stability, however, a deep dive into their full financial performance and business strategy would be necessary for a complete picture. What do you all think about these proposed changes and the leadership at Foxx Development Holdings? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this as insightful as I did, please hit that like button and subscribe for more corporate breakdowns like this, and don't forget to join our Discord. D community for more discussions and to connect with fellow corporate explorers. See you next time.